What job or profession seems easy but is actually very challenging? Daycare teacher. Draining. Difficult. Sometimes heartbreaking. Worst experience I ever heard was a kid, 3Y, that was explosively violent. Hitting, pinching, occasional biting, screaming till other classrooms complained, hair pulling to the point that she ripped out chunks. They would pick up other kids by the hair, even ripping out some of mine. I literally started going bald because of this kid. My anxiety went through the roof, panic attacks galore. 'Cause see, when they were doing all of this, I'm also conducting class, toilet training, serving lunch out snacks, keeping other kids safe. So of course I'm also having to explain to parents when their kid has another bruise, more hair pulled out, another bite mark. At the end of the day, it was the owner's fault because they refused to kick the kid out. I've had great kids, great parents, great bosses even. But that one sucked donkey balls. Zookeeper. People think we just play with animals all day. However, 90% of the time is spent cleaning and trying, sometimes in vain, to stomach some of the foulest smells known to man. It's not physically or mentally difficult, but customer service gigs, fast food, bartender, cashier, etc., are all extremely emotionally difficult at times. You try keeping a smile on and being polite when someone thinks they have the right to be a complete, racist, douche, Karen, to you, and in the worst cases, your boss has to side with them, or they risk their job, which is only slightly less shitty. I think all jobs seem easy until you do it. You find something that is challenging about it. I spent a decade in the military, but the one server job I had for a few months before that was the hardest thing I have ever done for work. Edit. I take that back. Being a recruiter in the military was only slightly harder. Game development, particularly design. There's no telling what will be fun to players until you test it, so there can be a lot of going back to the drawing board. Librarian, especially if you go into specialized fields. I am a law librarian most of the time, it is easy. Other times you get things like, I need a legislative history on this regulation on global finance and its effects on the healthcare industry in the Midwest. And I need it by 4:30. Guess who needs to become an expert in global finance and healthcare policy as 2 hours? ITT. Difficult professions that don't seem easy to anyone. Anything in customer service, because you have to deal with people all day long and that sucks ass. TV meteorologist. It's like doing a research project and then presenting it all day, just to do it all again the next day. You have to time each segment just right, look perfect, speak perfectly with no teleprompter, and operate on a really weird sleep schedule. Viewers also write in with complaints and you're the butt of everyone's jokes with, I wish I got paid to be wrong, even though forecasts are pretty accurate and they're broadcasting to a huge area. People fantasize about a bucolic lifestyle, but farming is hard. It's lots of work, a mix of many different skills, and knowledge about how to maximize crop yields, etc. Just about any position at a veterinary clinic. I get so tired of hearing how fun it must be to play with kittens and puppies all day. Yes, there are puppies and kittens, but we don't play with them. We may sometimes sneak cuddles if time permits on a bad day. The reality is that most of the time we are dealing with clients who are rude and unreasonable. Or even worse sometimes, clients who would move mountains to save their pet but nothing can be done. And the smell gets bad sometimes, OBV. Once you smell parvo you never forget it. And expressing anal glands can be quite nasty as well. But the hardest part is euthanizing a geriatric or injured pet in one exam room, holding your shit together, and then entering the next exam room for a new puppy check. Be kind to your veterinary professionals. Surprised nobody said fast food workers. Lots of people have said it was the worst job they ever had. Now keep in mind that millions of them work 2 jobs, and both jobs will deprive them of benefits by limiting their hours to just under the legal requirement. Imagine working 14 hours a day with no benefits, and barely being able to make rent. All of them are challenging in the fact they take roughly 40 hours of your life each week for 30+ years. Receptionist. You take a lot of crap from everyone for things you have no control over. Yes, Betty, I also wish the optometrist was running on time for your appointment. Retail. Dealing with random strangers all day from all walks of life. Trying to keep your cool when they argue with you and tell you how to do your job. The slave wages the companies pay us and then would replace us in a week if we dropped dead. The endless holidays we never get with our family because our corporate overlords demand we make them money on days the rest of the country is usually closed for. The 1 15-minute break we get for a 9-hour shift. Car sales. Working subprime can be very soul-sucking. Being a wedding photographer. It's a lot more physically demanding and exhausting than it seems, and the amount of drama you have to navigate sometimes for over 1 to 2 years per client can be very taxing. It's very common to only last a few years before quitting weddings. Those salespeople at random stands at the mall. They're ignored all day. They have some persistence for sure. Writing. If one more person tells me, "Oh yeah, I was thinking of writing a book when I retire," I will do 10 to 20 for aggravated assault. Laboring. It doesn't sound hard. It requires no qualifications. You don't have to think. Digging isn't hard. Heck, it's even fun. For the first half hour or so. When you're digging from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. in the scorching sun. Blistered hands. Pain from your back you've never felt before and dirt in every single crevasse. You start to realize it's really not as easy as you first thought. Breaking down a wall with a hammer seems pretty fun, right? Wrong. The bricks will chip and fly at your face. The dust will make it difficult to breathe, and the goddamn shock to your muscles over and over and over again hurts like a MF beach. Don't worry though. You get to go home, sleep for 12 hours, and do it all over again. Being a flight attendant. Prepare for holidays without your family and a lot of alone time. If you're a meal prepping introvert, it's an amazing life, but it's definitely not as glamorous as a lot of people think it is. Social work, especially when working with traumatized people. The amount of emotional pressure you have to deal with is insane. If you don't have excellent coping strategies and are not 100% professional, this job will break you. Union representative. Truck driving. Believe me, it takes a toll on our whole existence. Preschool teacher. Correctional officer. Waiting tables. Veterinary technician. Back-breaking, brutal and emotional crushing work. You don't get to pet puppies and kittens all day. Also, the pay is shitty. Barista. Multiple orders. Every one different. Muscle memory for making the coffee. It's a full mind, body experience. I used to work for a murder mystery troupe. Basically, people would pay us to come to their house, restaurant, or one time a public park, and bring them into a murder investigation. People think that all we do is show up to your party, give you a binder of info and a silly hat, all while talking in a silly accent. The truth is, everything we do is carefully choreographed and we are all professionally trained improv actors. We train and rehearse the shows that we can slip into any role needed or coax the info out of a stone. I, as a host, once gave the part of a victim to a woman who looked like she would do well in the role. However, by the time her death scene came, she was so drunk, she could barely even stand. Quickly, the detective and I worked the show so that she died of poison in her drink instead of being stabbed like she was supposed to. Nobody in the show other than us knew the change happened, and the party still had fun solving the crime. While 90% of shows are simple to those not in the know, the paid members of our troops are better actors than most people on TV, who can pivot their performance when needed. Escorting. I thought it would be easy money. It's not at all. I mean, I guess it could be easier, but then it would be way more riskier for both the provider and client. Being a graphic designer. Keep things simple and looking good is more difficult than it sounds. It really grinds my gears when certain politicians tell people put out of work that they should just learn how to program computers. Not everyone has the temperament to be a programmer, plus there's not that much call for people to write simple programs. Good, complicated programs are very hard to do, and people who can do it earn their large salaries. Those politicians are projecting an elitist image of themselves, assuming that if they hire someone to do something, it must be a simple thing to do. Okay, this one is obvious. A comedian. You have to make jokes, remember them, test if they're funny. So on. Lab tech. People think they look into a microscope all day and it's super chill, but it's quite chaotic and high pressure. Special education and working with folks with disabilities in general. People think it's just playing with the kids all day, but no, it isn't. You need to be firm with boundaries and routine, and sometimes the kids get violent, but the school does absolutely nothing to support you. My mother, bless her, works in special education and takes care of my sister at home. It takes a truly special soul to be able to do it. Unfortunately, some people in the profession shouldn't be in it in the first place. Door knocking for any industry. Small business owner. I work 7 days a week from the time I wake up till the time I go to bed. 911 operator. High stress, low wages, tons of procedures to memorize, and more. Librarianship. Seems quiet and idyllic and romanticized, but can be very technical and data heavy depending on the field. I always thought being an anesthesiologist would be the easiest job in the OR. Cover the patient's mouth with some sleepy gas and kick back with a magazine until the procedure is over. Turns out it's an additional 4 to 5 year residency with multiple grueling exams, and that's after completing your medical training. Teaching. My mom is a paraprofessional, and seeing the amount of bullshit her and the teacher she works with have to go through every day made me gain so much respect for those in the profession. They have to deal with parents and admin telling them everything is their fault. They have to do several unpaid hours planning lessons, meeting with parents, admin, grading work, and answering emails. They get so much abuse it's ridiculous. They're paid horribly and not respected by so many people. And they wonder why so many people either leave the profession or choose not to go into it at all. Being a florist. Flowers are actually way heavier than you think. Repetitive strain on your arms and shoulders, hand and leg cramps, constant cuts and bruises standing all day and bending over counters that are too low, if you are tall. Back pain. Your hands are often in freezing cold water. Walk in fridges. You never get to have a break for your loved ones during Valentine's, Mother's Day, Christmas, etc., as those are the busiest seasons, but you love the job so much you just put on with it every day, happy crying face. Cooking. In my opinion, once considered it until I realized how pressuring it is. Lol. Librarian. Expensive degree requirements if you want a higher paying position, plus flooded job market, plus not enough permanent FT jobs. Lots of precarious contract jobs, plus low salaries if you don't want to work in admin or management. I can't speak GIF public librarians, but academia is hit and miss. Faculty are mixed with regards to viewing us as peers and not just free grad assistants. Like other industries, lots of positions are discontinued when people leave, so we all wear 4 to 5 hats. The goodwill reputation librarians seem to have too is a double-edged sword, too. Similar to teachers, I'm sure. Our admin routinely tell us what a difference we make in lives and constantly thanking us for our resiliency, but never with a call raise. Anyway, I don't recommend getting the Malise unless you have deep pockets. Veterinary medicine, specifically vet nursing. Not just puppies and kittens. And when it is, it's parvo plus puppies whose dipshit owners have no money and want to emotionally blackmail you into providing free treatment because you'd do it for free if you really loved animals, then blame you when they refuse treatment and the puppy dies. Fun. Also, I'd earn more doing almost literally anything else, but I choose to do this because I actually do love animals and want to help owners provide the care their pets need. In a typical day, I might draw and run blood samples, place IV catheters, take radiographs, monitor an anesthetic and amend the anesthetic protocol on the go, convince the agro cat to allow us to examine without bleeding for the privilege, and also act as a sounding board for my vet while they try to come up with a plan for the patient that the owner is okay with. And care for up to 20 to 25 patients in hospital at any one time, walks, feeds, cleaning, TLC, vitals checks, and everything specific to that patient, drain care, urinary catheter care, meds, procedures, etc., while we see new consults in the whole time, too. And run reception duties, and act as a financial, grief counselor for the owners of patients that are in a bad way. It's a lot. Teaching. I'm aware that it's not a seemingly painfully easy job, but it's more than babysitting the kids, which is what some parents seem to think. Marine biologist, or really any research-intensive career. It's a lot of math, lots of writing and putting together presentations, lots of public speaking. If none of that is your thing, then don't do it. And no, you're not gonna be scuba diving with all the animals most of the time. Babysitting. It's not just hanging with the kid, bonding, playing games and then putting them to bed. It's hell. Game design or anything development related. No, we are not playing every day. No, we don't always enjoy our job or iterating months on the same level, feature whatever. It's a job, and the worst part is that it can even make you feel playing at home as a job too. So, YXD. Working in a call center. Very emotionally draining, and for an introverted person can spike anxiety especially when talking to rude customers. Being an at-home artist, or just any at-home career I suppose. I haven't tried it personally, but I've had friends who have tried to partake in this career, and it was a lot harder than I had once anticipated, because you not only have to have an art style that everyone likes, but you also need a way to get others to commission your work or earn a sustainable amount of money to keep you on your feet, and it's not just a one-week deal, where you get popular in a week. Maybe it is for a rare select of people. That's not always the case. Sometimes it takes weeks, months or even years to finally be successful. Some of the world's most famous artists didn't blow up within a week of starting. Some of them probably spent their whole life trying to get recognition. This isn't trying to put down any other career. This is only explaining how difficult at-home careers are. All careers vary in difficulty depending on the type of job and the person's smiley face. I thought nursing would be way easier than it turned out to be. I thought it would be technically difficult, actual physical skills, and emotionally difficult, in terms of trauma and seeing people suffering. But it's actually really draining. Dramatic coworkers, demanding patients, bad bosses, angry families. Massaging humans is like never-ending arm and leg day at the gym. I don't think a lot of people know that second-handedly. JSUT think when you're so asks for a massage. How do you last before your fingers are tired? Hint. If you're using your fingers you're doing 8T wrong anyway lol. Being a trash collector. You know how much juices get poured on them. Being a janitor. Wiping down toilet seats, sweeping, mopping, hauling trash. Multiple trips up and down stairs, not to mention the complete lack of respect that 90% of people have for us. They just put up the team of the year at my job. You would think that the team protecting the rest of the factory from COVID. Being the ones who have to go into an area to disinfect it when someone gets sick, would get recognized. Hell no. People piss and shit on toilet seats. Leave their used bloody tampons on top of the dispenser instead of in it. Throw paper towel on the floor beside the garbage bin and walk across our freshly mopped floor without a care in the world. Thanks for watching. See you later.